Oh, you start this bad boy.
Viva la España! Oh, Mexico! Welcome back, guys, to Fog Racing. It wasn't a Mexican that won the Mexican Grand Prix, but it was a Spanish speaker, and his name was Carlos Sainz. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Racing. And yes, Sergio Perez sucks. What can we say? I mean, if you're hoping this guy is going to win in front of his home fans, then, I mean, you better keep hoping there's another Mexican driver coming through the system, because this guy ain't winning nothing. But a guy that did win, Carlos Sainz Jr., won pretty easy, comfortable race. I mean, initially at the beginning, when he got overtaken by Max, you're thinking, is that him lost his best chance? But he didn't let Max stay in front for long. Retook Max, and after that, I mean, it's pretty easy.
It was
for the
easy.
man that's going to be departing Ferrari, and honestly, I don't know why.
Yeah, he's going to Williams. No idea, but yeah.
Well, I get he doesn't want to go, but I don't know why Ferrari are. I think they've made a mistake.
Yeah, I think it's just simply the rise have let up with Hamilton.
I think getting Hamilton is kind of like bringing in Cristiano Ronaldo at the end of his career. You're doing it for the name value when he's probably not the best option out there.
Yep.
And for me, that's Hamilton at this moment in time. Do I believe that Hamilton is quicker and better than Sainz? No. Do I think Hamilton will give Leclerc a gooder battle over a season than as Sainz will? No. But is Hamilton a bigger name? Will Hamilton bring more eyes to Ferrari? Will Hamilton generate more sales for the team with merchandise and all that stuff? The answer to that is yes.
No, well, it's as simple as that. But into turn one, Albon and Shinoda yeet it both out. See, when Max took the lead, I still thought Ferrari would win, right? One of the two. But Lando Norris is in dreamland, I think. The fact that he's took 10 points out of Max Verstappen. You don't agree?
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, no,
it looked like 3 at best, and then it's turned into 10. Which here, may as well talk about the incidents because it's 2 sets of 10-second penalties. I mean, part of me thinks 20 seconds was unfair. I actually don't really understand the FIA because, they gave him a penalty, right? They gave him 1 penalty for what he did at turn 1, 2, 3, 4. They gave him a penalty for what he did at turn 4, right? But Lando kept the position. What's the difference between that and Austin? There is no difference. So
None.
how does last week Norris gets a 5-second penalty, but this week Max gets a 10-second penalty? Do not understand it. I mean, let's be honest, the race peaked in the first 10 laps. Some great action, but yeah, people can cry, right, and say, well, Norris could have won the race if Verstappen didn't do that. I get that, but at the same time, I think if Max doesn't do that, he finishes 4th. Lowest. You not agree? And I think, therefore, the best Lando can do is pull 13 points out of him rather than 10. But then at the same time, there's no guarantee to beat Sainz because that takes away from Sainz's drive. So it's like...
Sainz was really good today. I don't think anyone was beating Sainz.
Yeah, so I actually think Max being that aggressive is costing points rather than people saying what cost Lando the win. But anyway, I mean, do you think 20 seconds was too harsh? Or is it just a lack of consistency? Because I think it's a lack of consistency.
I mean, maybe, probably both. I think at 10 seconds would have been fine. In the end, it was... But you know what? I'm not convinced that Max would have finished 4th if he only got 10.
Yeah, I mean, if you add 10 seconds to his time, it puts him on 49 and a half.
Yes, but I mean, I would factor in that the Mercedes boys were battling a lot for that final half of the race, and I just feel like if Max had only had a 10-second, maybe he'd be in front of them, and maybe they would be told maybe not to battle as hard to try and chase Max. So I'm not convinced Max would. I think he might have finished 6th anyway.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it could have went that way.
Because I know he only finished 11 behind Mercedes, but I'm going to have to assume that Hamilton and Russell constantly battling each other for about 20-odd laps slowed both of those guys down.
Oh, no, of course it did. As for Sergio Perez, battling with Stroll, battling with Lawson, on the ropes there like Sergio Perez, battling, but I mean, Perez is just greeting about this. It's like, Liam Lawson, right? For whatever reason, Yuki Tsunoda can't get the Red Bull drive. I don't know what Christian Horner's problem is, but he can't get it. So Liam Lawson...
But you know what? Does Yuki Tsunoda really deserve it? I mean, I'm going to be honest. Does he?
I think he deserves it by power of deduction.
No, he arguably deserves it if the next Red Bull driver has to come from RB. But have I been that impressed with Tsunoda that I'm thinking he deserves to be in a car capable of winning drivers and constructors championships? Honestly, no. I'm not sure he does.
No, probably not.
And we've seen Red Bull just promote. It doesn't always work. Like Danny Kvyat, I mean, was he really Red Bull quality?
No.
Probably not. I'm just not convinced that promoting someone from...
Daniel Kvyat beat Danny Rick in the 2015 season.
No, he did, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm just not always... You look at Gasly and Albon, these are guys that came up from the junior... Maybe these guys just aren't cut out to be at the very top team.
No, maybe.
But then again, give them a chance.
As for Perez...
I don't think Tsunoda would do worse than Perez, I'll put it that way.
No. As for Perez, right, he got damaged, but I don't think he'd have got points anyway. Honestly, he just had an off weekend. As for Lance Stroll, he got 11th, which for me is shocker. Alonso in his 400th Grand Prix, DNF due to an issue, but I mean, I think he would have been around Stroll, round about there. But yeah, I mean, Max got 6th, Magnussen, really good race, start at 7th, finish 7th. Oscar Piastri, I think he'll be disappointed. I think he should be beating Max. Do you not think so? See, when Max will get 20-second time penalty and he's got a car that, let's be honest, I don't think was as good as the McLaren race trim, I think Piastri should be beating him. Do you agree?
I mean, possibly, but...
We'll have to wait and see. Let's move in, though, to the standings, because, of course, we were saying that the championship wasn't looking too good because, yeah, it went up to 57. But let's look at the standings now with 4 races to go. So, obviously, it's 47.
47, but you look at last week where Max took, 5 points out of Norris. I mean, it could be closer.
No, it could be closer. As for Charles Leclerc, I think he's out of it now. Honestly, I think he needed to be where Sainz was today. If he won the race, I think it opens the door for a bit more talk about that. But I think just pulling 5-6 points out of Verstappen at this stage,
I'm not convinced that I'm not sure Leclerc was really in it, because I think if he was, there would be a discussion with Ferrari about swapping the drivers, and that never appeared to be the case. So
no, absolutely. I think Max needs DNFs and shit like that, and there is sprints to go. But is it championship back on? I mean, why not?
Yeah, I'm more interested in the Constructors' Championship though. I think that's the interesting one. That's the one that I genuinely believe will come down to the wire. But for me, I would favour Ferrari despite being 29 points behind. I think that they might actually defeat McLaren. As for Red Bull, they would struggle to win this with 2 Max Verstappens, and if they were level on points with McLaren, in my opinion.
They'll beat.
So they're not going.
I wouldn't be surprised if Red Bull finished closer to fucking Mercedes and Ferrari at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Red Bull at the moment got a slower car, I believe, than McLaren and Ferrari, and they've only got one driver really capable of getting any sort of decent result. I mean, Perez, you're looking at 8th at best. That's what I feel Perez is doing, unless of course there's DNFs.
Yeah,
but the guy's not beating Max. I don't think he's beating any of the McLarens or Ferraris, and I don't think he's beating the Mercedes.
No. Perez, I think that's his last Grand Prix as a Red Bull driver in Mexico. But that's where we're going to leave it, guys.
You don't think he's staying next season?
No, he's got to go, man. It's unacceptable. Can't just sit around anymore, man, can we? Well, probably can.
You know what? I wonder if Red Bull are thinking, hold on, should we have got Carlos Sainz?
They could be thinking that. Anyway, guys, up next we have got Brazilian Grand Prix, and it's next week. It's 5 days away. We begin on the 1st of November, so looking forward to it. But as for this weekend, I mean, Carlos Sainz dominated.
It's been a while since we had a Brazilian on the grid.
Aye, since Felipe Massa. Felipe Massa.
What about Felipe Massa?
Nah, he left before Massa left.
Actually?
Yeah. Fun fact. Anyway, till next time. Peace.